welcome back. Today what I'm going to do is I made that teaser for the Taylor Swift song Cruel Summer. So I wanted to go ahead and take a moment to break down the solo for you. I'll probably do this in two parts. The first part, I'm going to spend some time breaking down some of the shapes at the beginning of the solo and kind of showing you where the different sections are, like why I chose these particular sections and how they fit in with the scale shapes. This is the A Ionian scale, so where do they fit in? And then I also want to take some time to show you, probably in the second part, is how to go ahead and finish playing this song, and then maybe a couple of alternatives that you could do with this solo. I might even do a third part where I do some licks and tricks with you. I know I got another video for licks and tricks I got to make, so I'll probably do some of that as well. And maybe go and spend some time talking about the pentatonic, because I spent a lot of time doing pentatonic on this, and I think that that is something I'd like to flesh out for you to help you understand a little bit better. So this one's going to be probably over the first section of this solo, so check it out. I got the teaser of the song that I did for Cruel Summer, of the solo that I did, and I'm going to go and sprinkle it out throughout the video as I make this. So if you haven't seen the teaser, it's in the last video that I made, the actual tutorial for Cruel Summer. So I'll sprinkle it through here. Basically what I'm doing is breaking down that solo for you, and it starts off like this. So we're going to start off in this A major box. So that first note that I'm playing right here, which is this one right here, which is on the 9th fret of the 4th string, is actually a B, okay? So we're not even starting out in with the right note, right? We're in the key of A, but we're starting out with that B. And the reason that is because it falls within the scale shape itself, okay? There's not even a B in this song, but it falls within the scale shape, and I'm going to show you why. Let's go ahead and take that whole section right there, that whole box, and let's back it up and move it forward, and let's just look at the pentatonic. Okay, so the whole shape, the whole pentatonic shape is going to play on the 6th string. We're going to play 9, 12. On the 5th string, 9, 12. There's your broad span. We always have 2 broad span and then 3 little span, 2 broad span, 3 little span. That's kind of the way I think about it. It's a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, and then a whole step, whole step, whole step. Then whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step. So I'm thinking first finger, pinky, first finger, pinky. And then on the 4th and the 3rd strings, we're playing the 9 and the 11. First finger, ring finger. When I get to the 2nd string, I get a bump up one because of the way the 2nd string is tuned. We're just going to play 11, 12, or actually 10, 12. And then on the 1st string, playing the same thing I played on the 6th string, we're going to play the 9, 12. Now, to my ear, it's gravitating back towards the F note. Actually, F sharp note. And in my mind, when I hear this scale, it feels like it resolves back to that F sharp minor. That's because my brain tends to be tuned to Aeolian sound or a natural minor sound. But if we listen to the actual song and we play this over the song, it's going to resolve back to an A major sound. So let's listen to that, just that scale shape right there, just the pentatonic right there, this one right here. And see how it resolves back. And I want to do this because it's going to help us find the note that this solo is actually starting on, even though we're starting on the B. As with all songs, there's relative majors, there's relative minors. The relative minor of this song is F sharp minor. The third note of the minor scale, 1, 2, 3, is your major scale. It's going to include the same notes. It's just the major scale starts on do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. And the minor scale starts on la, la, ti, do, re, mi, fa, right? So it's gravitating back towards that A, which is right here on the 12th fret of the 5th string. But you can also hear that F sharp minor, which is on the 9th fret of the 5th string. But the song is in A major, and even though the F sharp minor would fit, it's the same notes. So then that begs the question, why did I start on the B? And the reason is because it fits as well. It's within the scale shape. It fits, right? We have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do starting on the 12th fret of the 5th string. And we're playing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do by playing do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now we're only playing the pentatonic though, so I'm leaving out some of those notes. So we're going to go ahead and play on the 5th string at the 12th fret, playing that with my pinky. Because I know I'm going into this box that's here, so I'm going to start with my pinky, so the next note I can hit is on my index finger, which is going to be at the 9th fret of the 4th string, and then with my ring finger, the 11th fret of the 4th string. Same thing on the 3rd string, 9, 11. And then on the 2nd string, we're going to play 10, 12. So we're starting out with that 4th string, 3rd string, 9, 11, 9, 11. Simple little lick right there, right, that gets us into the box. You can practice that and shred with it, get it up to speed and do all kinds of crazy stuff with it, right? But just a simple little lick. And then we're going to go to the 10th fret of the 2nd string and play 10, 12. And that's basically the last box of that pentatonic. Or the last whole step shape, right? Playing with my first finger and my ring finger. But we're going to go and slide up to the next shape. And this is the only time we're going into the next shape. So we're just going to look at that one note. And it's going to be on the 14th fret of the 2nd string. And then back. So we're going to go ahead and play up to the 14th, back to the 12th, back to the 10th, and then go to the 3rd string and play on the 11th. So right there. Hey, as always, thank you for checking out the free lessons that I have here on YouTube every single week. I got a foundational course for you. It's a 7-day course, and you get that foundation, and then you can come back here and you can go through all these lessons, and it's going to make a whole lot more sense. So it's a free 7-day course. It's at tinyurl.com/danh411, and it'll help you unlock the fretboard. It'll show you the scale shapes string by string. And what I do is over 7 days, I start really minimalistly, and then I go to the 2nd string and the 3rd string, and then I add a 4th string and a 5th string and a 6th string. Eventually it gets to the point where I'm showing you both diatonic and pentatonic boxes and how they make sense in a circular fashion, which a lot of guitar teachers, they show you licks and tricks and all kinds of cool stuff like that. But sometimes, I know for me, that was the case for me, sometimes it's hard to see how those different licks and tricks and shred licks and all that stuff fit within the scale shapes. So that's what I want to do over the 7-day course, is kind of give you that foundation for how those different scale shapes lock together like puzzle pieces. It's very circular. Once you learn one, you can go ahead and move it all up and down the fretboard. And even when you change strings, there's just a couple little rules that you need to know so that you can go ahead and fly up and down the fretboard from string to string, playing these different scale shapes, and always being in key, playing with confidence, improvising intuitively, and being able to just pretty much pick up the guitar and go no matter what song's playing. It helps you with your ear training too, because you can start to pick out, okay, I know this song is in this key. Even if you don't know the key, even if you don't know the note, you just know that it's right there, that fits. So that means that this scale shape must fit. So again, 7-day course, unlock the fretboard, play intuitively, play with confidence, just pick up the guitar and go. I'll have the link in the description, so check that out. The next 3 sections, we're basically playing from this box of the pentatonic along the 9th fret to the 7th fret box to the 5th fret box, okay? Going backwards. And we're gonna go. And the key to understanding that is to understand all 3 boxes. And we'll get to them as we go down each one, but basically to understand all 3 boxes and to understand how they connect together like puzzle pieces. So on that first one, we've already learned those shapes. We've already learned how on the 3rd string and the 4th string, we could play 9-11, 9-11. So we're just doing that. So on the 3rd string, we're playing 11-9, and then going to the 4th string and playing the 11. Back to the 3rd string. Again, shred licks that you can get up to speed if you take your time with it. And then we're going to end by using my index finger to play on the 9th fret of the 4th string. So I'm making this very melodic. I'm not trying to be shreddy with it. I'm just making it very melodic, taking my time with it. Then we're going to go to the next box, which is around the 6th or 7th fret, and we're going to play this. So let's go and look at that whole box. So the whole box is going to sound like this. That middle part there I'm playing on the 4th string at the 7th and 9th frets. And then on the 3rd string I'm playing at the 6th and the 9th frets. So there's your little middle part. But then when we get to the 2nd string, we're going to go ahead and play that broad span right there. We're going to play it on the 2nd string. We're going to play at 7-10. And then on the 1st string, I'm going to play the smaller span. I'm going to play on the 7-9. Which means if we go backwards, we're going to have 2 more small spans. Because we have one on the 4th string, then we're going to have one on the 5th string, and one on the 6th string. All in the same place, all playing 7-9. Okay, so that's going to be your second box. We're only going to use that middle piece though, right? Playing the same thing that I played here, going back and playing it here from the 3rd string from the 9th fret to the 6th fret, and then going to the 4th string and playing the 9th fret. And then ending it by playing on the 7th fret of the 4th string. And that's basically that shape, okay? So you got and of course, again, learning these solos is more about learning the solos because I'm nobody. I know that you don't want to learn my solos, but you're learning the pentatonic boxes, okay? So now we learned 2 pentatonic boxes, right? And these are in the A major key or in the F sharp minor key. So you can apply these to an F sharp minor song or an A major song. And you can move them around and apply them to anything. Okay, so let's take a look at the 3rd box. Because now we're going to do this. We already did this one. Now we're going to do this one. And it kind of looks the opposite of the one we just did, right? We did this one, which was on the 3rd string, which is that long span. Going from the 3rd string to the 4th string, from a long span to a short span. Now we're going to go on the 3rd string, we're going to be doing a short span. This is going to be on the 4th and the 6th frets. When we get to the 4th string, we're going to play the long span, which is on the 4th and the 7th frets. Ending on that 4th fret there. So going from the 3rd string, from the 4th, 6th, to the 4th string, 7th. Ending on the 4th fret of the 4th string. The reason it's different is because those long spans go diagonally across the fretboard. On this shape right here, which is kind of across the 5th or the 4th fret, right, the long spans are here. There's your A. There's your A major right there. Now we're actually in the A major box. So this is really the first box of the Ionian. That second one I showed you is the second box, and that first one that I showed you is the third box, right? One thing I think that's neat about the major scale, the major pentatonic, is that you can always kind of tell that you're in it if you can play My Girl. And the diatonic, if you play it backwards, it is Joy to the World. So those are two ways to kind of train your ear. Oh, okay, I'm in the major scale. I know where I'm at because I can play My Girl or I can play Joy to the World. But anyway, that shape right there is going to be on the 6th string at 5/7, then on the 4th string at 4/7, and then on the 3rd string at 4/7, because we're going to leave out these two notes in the middle. That's your two broad spans. The next three are just going to be the short spans. So we're going to play on the 3rd string at 4/6, and then on the 2nd string at 5/7, and on the 1st string at 5/7. So now you have that. Those two broad spans there are going to mirror the two broad spans here. And it's in a diagonal. Broad span, go up to the octave diagonally, go up to the octave diagonally, okay? And then of course it repeats on the 6th and the 5th strings. If you kept on going, which we're not going to flesh all these out today, but if you kept on going, it would go diagonally. So there you go. And if you can find those two broad spans, right, the one where you're playing with your first finger and your pinky, then going forward is just the whole step, and going backward is just the whole step. Okay, so you can flesh all those out pretty easily, and then of course get that in your muscle memory, and you can play pentatonics whenever you want. So that one's going to be here. And the only thing we're playing there is this, which I already showed you. And then we're going to play this. And then we're going to do this little run. And that little run right there is where we're going to end off here, because basically all we did was broke down a lot of pentatonic. In the next lesson, we actually kind of move into some diatonic shapes. And I want to show you those in a different lesson, because then I want to go ahead and combine the two and show you how you can find the pentatonic within the diatonic, or if you're in pentatonic shapes, you can go ahead and then find the diatonic, or if you're in diatonic shapes, you can find the pentatonic, etc., right? Vice versa, whatever. So this right here, all I'm doing is going up the scale, right? I played this. Now I'm going to do the same thing across the 5th and the 4th strings. Those are about two broad spans, so I'm just playing, on the 4th string I'm playing 7, 6, going to the 5th string and playing 7. And then playing the 4th fret on the 5th string. Actually, I don't do that, I go. And then I start that run, which goes. So that little run right there, I'm just playing up the scale. So all we're playing is this. Right? That's all we're playing. But we're doing this thing where we're going back and forth, and we're playing in groups of 3. So we start out on the 7th fret of the 5th string, but then we go back to the 4th fret of the 5th string. And then we go ahead and go forward. Like that. Going to the 4th string and playing the 4th fret. And then we're going to go ahead and go back, and then go forward, and go back, and go forward, and go back, and go forward. So it's. Like that. So we're going to go ahead and play on the 5th string. We're going to play 7, 4, 7, and then on the 4th string, 4. So now we're going to go ahead and go back to the 5th string, play the 7, and then go back to the 4th string, play the 4, and then play the 7. So we have this. And then we're going to go and go backward again and play the 4, the 7, and then go to the 3rd string and play the 4. And then we're going to go ahead and play the 7 on the 4th string, the 4 on the 3rd string, and the 6 on the 3rd string. So we have that whole shape right there. And then we're going to stop there because I'm breaking it into 3 little chunks. I'm going to play the exact same pattern, but this time I'm just going to start on the 4th string. It changes up a little bit because we're no longer playing the 2 broad spans at the beginning. We're just playing 1. But now we're just playing across the 3rd string at the 4 and the 6, and on the 2nd string, the 5 and the 7. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing and go back to the 3rd string, start there, and play those 3 little mini shapes. We're going to play on the 3rd string at the 4, 6, and then on the 2nd and the 1st strings at the 5, 7. But when we get to that last note, we're just going to slide up to the 9. The second 2 parts of that, I'm not going to break down for you wholly, because once you know the idea there. So we're going to go back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward. And then we're going to go to the previous string. Back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward. And then we're going to go back to the previous string. Back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward. Okay? So we're just going back, forward, forward, back, forward, forward. 1 step back, 2 steps forward. Or 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Isn't that a Paula Abdul song? Okay, so that's exactly what we're doing there, right? We're just doing that. We're just going back and forward, back and forward. And that's going to give us this little lick. And of course, you can combine the whole thing and make it into a lick that goes all the way across. Okay? But I didn't do that. I just went ahead and broke it into 3 little chunks. So now you got the whole lead, or the first half of that lead, right? And then it goes into a little bit more shreddy stuff at the end there, which we'll cover in the next lesson. Hey, I hope you're enjoying the free content I got here on YouTube for you. Remember, come back every week, brand new lesson. And don't forget that I got a free course out there for you, 7 days to unlock the fretboard. Give me 7 days. I'll give you 7 different lessons. You might do it quicker. You might take a little bit longer with it. You might have to come back to it and watch it several times. But practice, 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 right? It's going to get you where you need to go. It's going to give you a great foundation. If you've picked up the guitar before and you've learned some different licks or some different chops, if you learn some different scale shapes and things like that, but you're not really sure how to connect them together, if you're playing leads but you're doing things that you can only do over 1 key, if you have trouble picking up the guitar and just improvising intuitively, that's what this really is for. 7 days to unlock the fretboard, 7 days to understand where the scale shapes are and how to move them around. How to play in any key, how to play intuitively, how to pick up the guitar and just go and play with confidence. That's what I've always wanted as a guitar player, and that's what I want for you. So check it out. Link will be in the description, or you can just go to tinyurl.com/DanH411, assuming that never changes, and I will see you in the next lesson. So I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. We're going to go ahead and tackle this a little bit more in the next one. And then I think in the one after that, I'm also going to go ahead and come back to it and show you that, hey, we got some cool stuff in here, and we can find some cool licks. So let's go ahead and throw those, on the chopping block too, and see how you can handle that, right? So there's a lot of stuff in here. Unpack it little by little. You got 3 different shapes. Take those and play with those. Get you a backing track that's in the key of A major, and go ahead and let me know in the comments Are you able to start seeing how the shapes connect together like puzzle pieces? There's a little lesson in this lead, and that is right there in the middle, on the third and the fourth strings. They're connecting backwards like puzzle pieces, and they're connecting forwards like puzzle pieces. Can you find those shapes and find how they're connecting together? Because again, putting those shapes into your muscle memory is going to really help you understand how to move things all over the fretboard. Because now I can take all three of these shapes, move them up one octave, move them down one octave, or move them up a couple frets, move them down a couple frets. And by doing that, you're going to be able to play over any song you want to. In fact, could you take one of these shapes, and let me know in the comments, could you take one of these shapes and play it over a different song that's in a different key? Because that's really the goal, right? You're training your ear, you're training your fingers, you're training your muscle memory to be able to pick up the guitar and just intuitively play over any song you want to using the shapes that are familiar to you. So can you do that? Can you move one of these around? You find a song that's in G major, find a song that's in E major, find a song that's in A minor. Okay, you can't play the same shapes here over A minor. You got to find something a little bit different, but there's a relative major to an A minor. So what is it? Find that major and you can play over an A minor song using these shapes. That's what I think is so cool about the circular nature of the shapes and the circular nature of the fretboard. So thank you for checking this one out. We'll see you in the next one, and keep coming back every week, more lessons. And don't forget about my free course. Check that out and have a good day.